Our next competitor is Territa Poole from the Department of Educational Studies and Psychology, Research Methodology, and Counseling. The title of her talk is Problem Solving, Learning, and the Confusion Conundrum.
My name is Territa Poole. I am a learning scientist. I study how emotions affect cognitive processes. My research specifically is looking at confusion in the context of learning environments, school environments. But what happens is, because we hear this language as part of our everyday lives, just on TV, on the radio, there's confusion about this and they were confused. We carry that over. And so when you get to school, confusion is the same confusion that's out there, the confusion that's bad. And I really feel like the research I'm doing underpins or supports the research that we do in all other areas. So we're training future scientists, doctors, teachers, lawyers, all kinds of jobs. The world is full of complex issues and we're not going to be able to run away from things. So we need to become comfortable with the fact that we're not going to know. And how do you navigate that feeling of not knowing or that feeling of confusion? Both of my kids have ADD. You know, when they were in school, I would help them, and there would be times when they would be frustrated and they wouldn't understand something. And I guess I did really start with them. And so I started using language with them that normalized what it means to not know, that it's okay if you don't. That's part of the process of learning. I had so many people come up to me and say, you know, I'm one of those people that has felt like confusion is something bad, or I'm a student who has a learning disability and now I don't feel stupid. That keeps me going and keeps me really interested in my research and fired up to get it done. This is my second time doing a 3-minute thesis. I finished in 3rd place last year, which I was really excited about, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun, I just said, I want to do it again. I want to see if I can win. My research means the world to me. You know, I really am passionate because I want people to enjoy learning. I'm really invested in this. You know, as I walk down to the stage, when I'm standing there, you know, this is my research, this is my work, and nobody knows it like I do. And so even if I don't do it perfectly, it's still my work, and I want to be able to present it proudly.
Picture a group of students gathered around a smartboard. They've been given a task that is unfamiliar and complex. Of course, none of them has any expert knowledge to rely on, so they reach a mental fork in the road where the feeling of confusion looms large. But what happens next? How do they interpret this uncomfortable feeling? And what does it mean for their learning? These questions are the focus of my research. So we invest a great deal of time and money in studying how people learn, because learning is not just about memorizing and recalling facts. Instead, it's really about developing the capacity to think deeply and solve complex problems like how to create renewable energy, combat climate change, and conquer life-limiting conditions. And now, we've embarked on a whole new frontier where learning scientists like me believe that beyond general intelligence and textbook knowledge, emotions like confusion could also play a critical role in problem solving. But we're still sorting this out. While previous studies do show confusion can play a positive role in problem solving, I've observed that some students perceive or interpret confusion as a sense of threat, and they often stop trying. Yet other students perceive it more as a sense of challenge and are ready to forge ahead. So how do we make sense of these questions? Well, an answer proposed in my dissertation is that students perceive confusion in different ways as a consequence of their learning beliefs and goals. And these differences can affect the cognitive or thinking strategies they might use when trying to solve a fuzzy problem. The theory goes that meaningful learning is a constructive process which takes time. And we learn more when our goals are aimed at mastery instead of trying to look smart. So when students feel confused, they might not like it, but if they focus on mastery and believe that new understanding is built over time, this feeling can act as a powerful emotion signal that prompts them to switch from using simple strategies like memorization to more complex ones like analyzing. And this could ultimately improve their problem solving and learning. Now, I've tested this idea in a pilot study where a sample of students answered survey questions about their learning beliefs, goals, and emotion perception. Then I measured their confusion while they studied a set of scientific arguments and tried to identify accurate solutions. The results of my analysis showed that students who are concerned about proving their intelligence and believe that learning is simple and quick were more likely to perceive confusion as threatening. And that had a negative effect on the accuracy of the solutions they could identify. Now, these findings are preliminary but promising, and if confirmed in my full study, I hope to develop academic interventions like emotion reframing that can transform the meaning of confusion and make it a normal part of learning. After all, the students working in our classrooms today, encountering all those new complexities, well, they are the problem solvers of tomorrow. Thank you.
I was very nervous. But when you get up there, you kind of get on autopilot and it just comes out. You know, you said it more than 1,000 times, and so it just kind of comes out, and I love my topic, and I hope that came through in my presentation.